Hello. Um, I did say I was gonna make another video just saying about how you cannot talk to yourself. Like, allow me to explain. So, you can talk to yourself, like, right now, I could say, like, yo, my hair looks funny. And then, boom. Now I could say, bro, no, your hair looks funny. I'm like, we're the same people. I'm like, you're right. But as you can see, I just talked to myself like that. That that's normal. But you cannot talk to yourself as in last year. You can't talk to yourself like last year, maybe last month, maybe last week. But you can talk to yourself in about a day, maybe two, and times like that. I don't know if you guys want me looking at the camera or looking at myself. I'm just looking wherever. But the point is that um you can't talk to yourself longest. You can't talk to yourself like last year, the year before that. Even though you send a letter to your future self, when you're the future self, you can't talk to yourself. And when you're the past, you can't talk to yourself. You have to write everything, like the message, the response, and the response to the response, and keep the conversation going in that same day, saying that you're the past and you're the future. Even though that wouldn't be fun and you're just talking to yourself right there and then, that's the only way to do it. You can't really talk to yourself from last year talking to yourself now. You can send a letter from your past to your future, but it's like you're talking to a dead person in the future. Because once you're the future and you see that message from the past and you read it, all you can do is just read it. You can't, you can express it maybe, but you can't talk back. You can't respond. If you do, you can't. You just can't. You can't send a letter back to your past self because you can't go back in time. Unless it's like that conspiracy where people went back in time, stuff like that. If you're that person, yes, you can. But normally people are not. So you can't really talk to yourself. You can only do it temporarily, like not like a limit to talking to yourself, but like time wise. Like you can talk to yourself like within a day and you could know what you're gonna say and say it back over and over like that. But if you're talking to yourself like, hi there, nice to see you got 100,000 subscribers in the future. How's that going out? And then from the future, when I don't know if I am gonna get that, but imagine if I do in a fantasy world where I get 100,000 subscribers, I'll be really happy. And I'll go like, man, this 100,000 subscribers, bro, it is so awesome. I get to post on lives. I could do a bunch of things, and then it's just a fun life. And then your past is not gonna say anything back. You can't. You your past, you can't say what you would say from your past because you can't. You have to physically, mentally, spiritually, everything from your past to talk back. If you think that you can and you go like, wow, I'm gonna talk to myself from the past, I'm gonna go like, man, I'm sure you you can't get a response saying that, nah, you're just tall. And you think that from your past that you said that you in the present is just tall. You can't say that. You can't exactly know what you would say. Because if you think of what you're going to say from the past, like today, then maybe tomorrow what you think you're going to say from the past might be different unless you exactly know, like, I'm going to make sure I say that, not just from the top of my head, like I did yesterday. You can't do that. That's just against the rules. Like, you, if you just say that I said yes yesterday, that what I said from the past, like a year ago, was yes, like out of nowhere in my head. Then from the present, then I forcefully have to think what I said yesterday and not what I said from the past. So you're saying what you wanted to say yesterday, not from the top of your head. Because maybe today you're going to think I said yeah, not yes, like you said yesterday. That's why you can't talk to yourself from the past. You can maybe talk to yourself from the past like a few minutes ago, maybe a day, maybe a week. We don't know. Nobody knows. I believe. I don't know. If you can prove me wrong, please do so we can all learn together. And that'll be better for all of us. But um yes, you can't talk to yourself from the past. If you try, it's like you're talking to a dead person, where if you talk to a dead person, you can think or give a guess, maybe an educated guess on what they would say, but they didn't say it themselves. You're just thinking what they would say. It's kind of like you're talking to somebody in the present times, like the president right now in the USA is Joe Biden, and if I think of what I'm gonna say to Joe Biden, like, I don't know what I would say to him now that I think of it. Like, hey, can I have $1,000? And then in my head, I could think of what he's gonna say back. Like, maybe yes, maybe no, but let's just say yes. Like, Joe Biden says yes. Then, now, it's getting complicated, but it's, okay. I just had a little brain fart. But, so if I think of what Joe Biden says, and he says that, but he didn't say it. He, I didn't, in reality, I didn't go up to him or in a letter, however I conversate with him, and ask him, can I have $1,000? You can't. Well, you can go ask him, but I highly doubt that he's gonna give you it unless he's getting something out of it. But in time wise, wait, no, not time wise. Oh my gosh, sorry, it's my first video, actually second. But um, you know, when you talk to yourself from the past, it's like you're talking to to a dead person, and then when you're talking to a dead person, it's like you're talking to somebody that you can't talk to. It's highly complicated, but it's kind of true. I'm not exactly sure because I did absolutely no research, but that's I tried talking to myself, and then that's how I thought of this video right now. Like, I just, you know how schools make you talk to yourself in the future? Like, let me talk to yourself in the future, and see what happens in the future. Maybe you reach those goals that they said to say and stuff like that. Well, um, I just got a message from myself years ago, and all I feel is sadness because I can't say nothing back. If I could say something back, like if my sixth grader self said something back, I would have felt okay. Like, wow, how is this possible? It's not. You can't talk to yourself from the past except one sentence. You could talk back to yourself in the past one sentence. My bad. But once you say something to your future could say something back, but you won't know what it is until the future comes. It's sad. You can't talk to yourself. Really can't. Except in a day or two, maybe a week, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on how well your memory is. But just you can't talk to yourself. Like right now, I could say, "Man, I should drink some water cuz it's hot." And then I'll say back, "Yeah, it is really hot. You should just go get yourself some water." And then, you know, I could maybe go get myself some water. But I can't tell myself in the past, a year ago, to go swimming. Go swimming. Ask your mom. Go swimming. And just go swimming. He won't get that message. Guaranteed, he won't get that message. He won't know that I said that in the future, so he just won't get it. It's like you're talking to a dead person. You'll tell the dead person, like, man, you were pretty cool in the past. How'd you do this? He won't respond. Just be plain silent. And you might think, hey, he might say, this is how I did it. I just put a fish on a hook and I just toss it in the ocean and there we go. Bait and fish come out of ocean. Boom. You might think that, but what if he would actually say something else? Like maybe you need a certain type of bait to get a certain type of fish. And then there you go. He said something else. Conversations are very, very important. And you can't conversate with your past, so something important has been lost. Your ability to talk to yourself. You can't talk to yourself from the past. Like, you can't talk to the person next door, like, not next door, but that's too close. Like, from another country without using your phone. Like, just think, like, head to head conversation without talking with your mouth. You have to think of what the person's gonna say. Like if you're talking to your dog, like my dog, I have to think of what my dog is gonna say back when I say hello. He's not saying nothing. I just have to think. Did he say hello back? Did he? I could think. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. We don't know. Maybe there is some dog to human conversations, stuff like that. But that's just dogs, and also that's not yourself. You can't talk to yourself long term. Short term, yes, of course, definitely. But long term, you can't. You just can't. It's time. It's like You can't talk to anybody in the past. Anybody, unless it's quotes that you're using that they said to you literally. Like, if somebody said that I have 8 cookies, you can have one in the past, and you use that as a quote today, then you can say something else that you did from the past, but it's not, they can't answer again. They can't say anything different than what they said from the past. All they said is what they said. You can't talk to them anymore. You can only say one sentence, move on. That's all you can do. You can't continue the conversation. You you might be able to make a conversation hope you said what you say in the future, and you have to make about some amount of flashcards and say that I said hello on the front flashcard, and then the second I say I'm good and let's go to the park. And then in the future, if I don't see that second flashcard, then maybe I would have said, "Hi, I'm very thirsty." Then I see the second flashcard that I'm supposed to say I'm good, and wait, hold up. I was thinking of saying, "Hello, how are you?" on the first card, and then the second thing. Well, the first thing I'm okay. Let me go from the top. This is highly complicated. Let me get a piece of paper, man. This is complicated. Okay. No, there's stuff on this paper. My bad. Okay. Okay, I got a piece of paper. Now, I'm gonna write some of this down right here, right in front of you. Now, on the first flashcard, I'm supposed to say, "Hi." And the second, I say, wait, hold up. How, there's no room. I should have made room. But how are you? And then saying, well, I still didn't make room. I'm good. Let's run. Why the hell not? And so, in the future, this is future, this is past. Now, in the past, I made these flashcards thinking of what I'm saying in the future without knowing. It's like fog of war. You cannot see any of the future. But if you hide this these 2 flashcards from your future, so it's like a fog of war again, and all you see is the first flashcard, you can say hello, and then you move the flashcard, and then you see how are you, and then you have to say I'm, let me capitalize that, I'm good. You, and then good, let's run, and then okay, why the heck not? Okay, so this is a successful kind of conversation, but it's a dumb conversation. It's not, you're not using any real intelligence on this conversation. You're just talking to yourself, but not to improve exactly. I don't see any improvement here. If you can, please tell me in the comments, and like and subscribe, please. It helps me make more videos. But So from the future, all you can see is this, and then after that, you have to think of what to say to yourself, literally to yourself, from the past that can't see any of this. Your past can't see any of this. Not a single word. You just have to think of what your future is going to say. From the future, you have to think what your past is going to say unless you write it down and put it in flashcard formation or a way you cannot see the second answer. If you cannot see the answers behind that first word, then you can have a conversation with yourself from the past. But it's like not intelligent conversation. You can you can possibly from the future move all these flashcards to where you can see them. Then what's the point of talking to yourself? And in the first place, even if you don't see, what's the point of having that conversation? Conversations are best important to talk to one another, to expand information, to talk about future plans, to do other things, to talk simple conversations can save people's lives. If they do or don't, that's up to the people themselves. And the point of conversation here is literally to conversate with yourself in the past. Other than this conversation, like think about good, let's run. Since run is like a, I think, adjective. I haven't done English in freaking years. I do not pay attention to English. But run, that is something to do. Something to do in a conversation, that's a big important word. To run. That's the point of this conversation. Now, if you disagree and you say, instead of okay, and you say no, then what is yourself gonna say? What is. You have to make separate flashcards like over and over and over and over and over until infinity. Just just keep making them cuz you don't know what you would say. You just don't know. But you just there's no point in talking to yourself from the past because the past is the past. You can't do anything anymore. The only point is like a schedule. Schedules, you get to write down what you will do the next day, and if you do, check them off. That easy. But if you don't check them off and you simply just do them, that's that's you. You get to talk to yourself, and that's an actual thing to keep up with. If you have a conversation and you say yes, well, then all these flashcards that you made for no or maybe or sure or why not or why this and that and this and that, it's all these possibilities. All these possibilities are canceled out because of what you in the future chose. It's harder on your past than it is on your future. In the future, you can make all the answers you want, and your past can't change it. You can change the future, but not the past. So, this one answer answers at least one of your answers, and it's just hella hard to have a functional conversation with yourself. You can't do it, and if you do, what's the point? You can't. Just don't do it. And if you can, there's no point. There's actually no point into talking to yourself. So if you're trying to have an easy way to talk to yourself, you can't. If you're trying to talk to yourself possibly in any way imaginable you can, but it's gonna be the hardest thing you do. Because unless you forcefully think from your past, thinking what you're gonna say in the future, and you're gonna think exactly what you say in the future, you're puppeting yourself. You're puppeting yourself to say exactly what you would say from the past. It's like you're talking to yourself only in the past, not in the future. So there's no point. If you use only one of these possibilities, and imagine if you didn't do any of this, you didn't do the hard way, and you just went like, nah, there's only gonna be one answer and one answer only. And you're gonna answer yourself in the past where you say hi, you're gonna force yourself to say hello in the future. So you're using a long term conversation. It's like the chess version of chess where you have to wait months and years to play one match. But that that is more productive. It's like not productive. That's not the right word. I don't know the right word, but you're actually doing something in the present. You can't change the past, but you can change your move in chess where you can move a pawn something else, and it's just a long term, and it's just boring. My dog is running around and I don't know why. What is he doing? Weirdo. Anyways, but you can't talk to yourself. If you do, you're either puppeting or you're not doing hard, not hard. You're not taking it easy. You're going to take the hard route to where usually if you want to do this long-term conversation, like you're dedicated, you just want to do it so much. So you'll do all the work you can. Okay, you can do that. You can, possibly. But don't puppet. Don't forcefully, accidentally, don't possibly puppet. If you're puppeting, then you're just messing up, and all that work you did is worth nothing. Just your time is worth your time. I mean, not, it's unworthy of your time. Just don't do it. Just don't. It's a waste of time. And you should wait over a year so you 100% forgot everything you would have said in that conversation. Then that's fair and square conversating with your past, which is really hard to do. You have to say every single possibility in that conversation in the past, and in the future, you have to completely forget what you said in the past. That's how you talk to yourself in the past. You can't talk to yourself in the past without writing it down or typing it, whatever technology does. You can't. You can't talk to yourself. Just like right now, if I'm talking to myself in my head in the past, I'm talking about a year at least ago, then I can't. There's only one sentence myself could say, and it's what you said right there and then. Like, if one day in that past I said, hey, I want an apple, and then I could wait until the future and say, man, you shouldn't have ate that apple, man. It was rotten. And then your past is not going to say anything else. He ate the apple, and you ate the apple, and you remember that little situation that you had back then, and all you could say is, don't eat that apple, man. It's not a good thing. What is he going to say back? What is he going to do differently? He can't. He can maybe change for the future, but he can't change for the past. It's like if I stub my toe right now, I can't unstub my toe. You just can't undo things. Your past is your past. You have to deal with it one way or another. It's hard, but experience is priceless. So, I hope I got this right. If I did, that's impressive. If I didn't, please correct me down in the comments. I'm not sure if I aimed the camera at this, which I feel really bad if I didn't. But all the words are backwards. I apologize. Um, maybe you can see through the paper. No, you can't. That's it. Anyways, but have a good day.